Hey, good evening, good evening. What's going on, everyone? Welcome to another Pro Wrestling Talk video brought to you by Blitzball Champ Gaming here on the U to the Tube. I'm your host, Blitzball Champ Jason Ingram. So, for this video, wanted to go over and review WWE NXT Vengeance Day premium live event that happened yesterday, February 4th, at the Spectrum Center in Charlotte, North Carolina, in my home state, which I got the chance to attend in person. Shout outs to my dad, as well as Rob Potsy and Tino Gray, who joined me for this show. We sat in the lower level, first row of the lower level, actually. So we got a great view. We got a great view of everything, pretty much. A great view of everything, even from the entrance coming towards us. So, had great seats. I have to say, overall, I felt like the matches were solid, but some of the outcomes surprised me. Some of the outcomes actually surprised me. But anyway, let's get into it. So, NXT Vengeance Day kicked off with the North American Championship match as Wes Lee, the champion, defends against Dijak. Now, I have to say, I was extremely impressed with this match. Now, I know that a lot of us have seen Dijak before. I mean, he was with Retribution, and even those, if you want to go back to ROH, he wrestled in ROH. But a lot of people like to talk about, the rivalry he had with Keith Lee, which was a phenomenal rivalry. And him clashing with Wes Lee like this, their styles definitely complement each other. And it definitely showed in this match. I mean, it went back and forth. It really could have gone either way. And for this to be the first match of the show, it kicked off with a bang. This show kicked off with a bang through this match. And it even seriously looked like Dijak was about to pull it off. But we ended up getting some interference from Tony D'Angelo and Stax, which eventually led to Wes Lee doing his backflip kick, connecting Dijak and pinning him for the 1-2-3 to retain the North American Championship. Unfortunately for Dijak, he suffered a dislocated middle finger, which looked pretty gruesome. But hopefully, I think the word is that they were eventually able to pop it back in place, perhaps. I mean, I don't know if he'll miss a lot of time, but it did look pretty nasty. They had it up on the big screen for a second, during even when he was lying down eating the pin. But yeah, it was pretty nasty. It was pretty much pointing like at an angle to the northwest. It was pretty bad. But hopefully Dijak will be okay and they'll be able to pop his finger back into place and that he'll recover ASAP. But great match. But Wes Lee is still your NXT North American champion. Okay, next up, we had the ladies in action. We had the NXT Women'S Tag Team Championships on the line as the champs, Kayden Carter and Katana Chance, defend against Fallon, Henley, and Kiana James. Once again, another solid match. Was not a fan of the outcome. So, I know Briggs and Jensen were a company with Fallon, Henley, and Kiana James. But when it came down to it near the end, Fallon Henley got the pin on Kayden Carter, but with the help of Kiana James on the outside holding down Carter's feet so she couldn't kick out. And with that being said and done, we have new NXT Women's Tag Team Champions in the random team, and only their third match teaming, after feuding with each other for a good long while and tearing each other apart. They are now NXT Women's Tag Team Champions. Makes no sense to me. And this is one of the main reasons why I hear a lot of people look down on a women's tag team division, especially in North American wrestling promotions. I mean, whether it's AEW or Impact Wrestling or WWE, just women's tag team division is just either non-existent or extremely lacking. And it's like, yet again, you put another random tag team together, 2 matches, and then their third match is a title shot, and they win? I guess the only thing that I could think of is maybe Kayden and Katana are going to get bumped up to the main roster, perhaps. But then again, at the same time, then where are they going to get tag teams for NXT, for the women's division in NXT? You know, it makes no sense to me. Not only that, secondly, this is what happens when you end up getting another set of women's tag team titles through NXT, when y'all could have easily been using the main ones on the main roster between all 3 brands like it was originally supposed to be. But nah, y'all had to make another set for NXT. Makes no sense to me when you don't have hardly any women's tag teams, especially legit ones, without them having to put random 2 ladies together. I mean, let's keep it real. Let's keep it real. It's bad. It's a bad look. It's a bad look. Especially considering Kayden and Katana have been a legit tag team for what, 2+ years? 3 years? The outcome made no sense to me. It really didn't. I mean, storyline or whatever, it made no sense to me. Especially teaming up two matches, and then third match they get a title shot after feuding for like the longest time. It just and they win. It just makes no sense to me. But anyway, it was still a solid match at least. And I always like the double team moves that Kayden and Katana do. Like, they're a legit tag team. But anyway. Next up, we had the 2 out of 3 falls match between Carmelo Hayes and Apollo Crews. Another solid match. Great clash of styles here. And, you know, both young men look very strong in this match. But I have to be honest with you. I have to actually be honest. I did not expect this to be a 2-0 finish. I did not expect this to be a 2-0 finish. We did get Commander Aziz, or I guess now he's Daba Kato, formerly Babatunde, Commander Aziz, same person. Y'all know who I'm talking about. But came in, and it looked like he was trying to help Apollo Crews, you know, to even things out, because of course Carmelo Hayes had Trick Williams in his corner. But it really wasn't enough, as already Carmelo Hayes got the first pinfall via submission, via a crossface. And then the second time was able to hit the diving leg drop, or diving famouser. Or what is it called? Oh, I'm sorry. Nothing but net. I keep forgetting what it's called. Nothing but net. He hits the nothing but net, gets the 1-2-3, and wins this match 2-0. I was kind of surprised. You usually don't see a lot of 2 out of 3 falls matches in a 2-0. Not saying that it doesn't happen. It has definitely happened before. It made me think about Candice Michelle versus Beth Phoenix, the third time, where Candice Michelle got injured, broke her clavicle. Beth Phoenix won that match 2-0, but it made me think that if she didn't have the injury, if Candice Michelle would have won one of those falls. But obviously they had to end the match due to the broken clavicle. She couldn't continue, so it made me think about that. But it's rare, but yeah, Carmelo Hayes with the 2-0 sweep. And then afterwards, Dabba-Kato comes in, helps up Apollo Crews, then drops him. So, guess not what Apollo Crews expected, but you got a storyline there. You got to remember, Dabba-Kato and Apollo Crews have a lot of history together, especially, team together. Commander Aziz, when Apollo Crews, had the whole Nigerian accent heel run on the main roster. So, a lot of history there. So, I have to see how this develops more going forward. But, Carmelo Hayes with the 2-0 sweep. Next up, we have the Fatal 4-Way for the NXT Tag Team Championships. As the champions, the New Day, Xavier Woods, Kofi Kingston, defended against Pretty Deadly, Chase University, and Gallus. And I have to say, being at the show, Chase U definitely got the big pop out of the 4 teams. I mean, the New Day, yeah, the New Day was great. They're gonna have their fans, but Chase U, there was a lot of Chase University fans in the house in Charlotte. Very entertaining match. Definitely all 4 teams showcased really well. Thea Hale always comes out as, pretty much just the female Scrappy Doo. But overall, this was a pretty entertaining match. And I have to say, the outcome I did not expect. I know a lot of my friends were, really wanted Chase University to pull it off, which I didn't think was going to happen. But Gallus, Mark Coffey, Wolfgang was able to pull it off with their double team finisher to become the new NXT Tag Team Champions. Now, I was really shocked. I did not think Gallus was going to win. But, you know what? We'll see where it goes. I don't know if we're going to eventually get Joe Coffey back. But, yeah. Gallus boys. Mark Coffey, Wolfgang are your new NXT Tag Team Champions. Hey, I'm cool with it. I did not see that one coming, but hey, I'm cool with it. But you know what? Now that the New Day have lost those titles, you know what I'm thinking? I'm thinking they may be brought back up to the main roster, and something tells me they might be one of the teams, if not the main team, that dethrones the Usos. I just have that feeling. Whether it's for both titles or for one of the titles, I got a feeling the New Day is going to dethrone the Usos and take at least one set of those tag titles on the main roster. So that's what I'm thinking, which is why I feel that's gonna happen after them losing the NXT Tag Team titles. So we'll see what happens, but that's just my prediction. Next up, back to the ladies, as we had a triple threat match for the NXT Women'S Championship. As the champion, Roxanne Perez defended against Toxic Attraction's Jacy, Jayne, and Gigi Dolin. I have to say, being at the show, there was a lot of cheering for Roxanne Perez and Gigi Dolin. Now, of course, Gigi and Jacy double-teamed Roxanne most of this match, but when it finally came down to it, these two ladies finally got sick and tired of each other and just started brawling with each other, which it was eventually going to happen. I mean, they kept trying to steal each other's pin. But it was definitely a good match. Roxanne Perez held her own, of course, and I felt like it was only a matter of time before one of Toxic Attraction would be taken out and would leave Roxanne to pretty much clean up the mess. And surely enough, that is what happened, as Gigi Dolin got put through a table, or got knocked off the turnbuckle and through a table, or off the apron through a table on the outside. And then Roxanne was able to hit an avalanche pop rocks on Jacy Jayne to secure the victory and retain the NXT Women'S Championship. So, a big victory for Roxanne Perez. And, like I said, it was just really neat seeing, the crowd not only go wild for Roxanne Perez, but also for Gigi Dolin. There was definitely a lot of cheering for Gigi Dolin. But yeah, Roxanne was able to best the ladies of Toxic Attraction to retain the title. So she's been rather busy, especially she was in the Royal Rumble recently, and then defended her title at NXT Vengeance Day. So good stuff for Roxanne Perez. And then the main event came down to a steel cage match for the NXT Championship. Bron Breakker, the champion, defended against Grayson Waller. And of course, Grayson Waller kind of, with some intimidation there, come into the ring with the Scott Steiner gear, with the chain headgear. Had some ladies behind him directing traffic, I guess. But this was definitely a pretty good match. But I have to say, North American title match was my favorite out of the whole card. But this match was still pretty good. The thing with this steel cage match, you had to win by pinfall or submission. Escaping does not count. You can escape all you want, but in order to win the match, it has to be pinfall or submission. So, this match definitely went back and forth. Grayson Waller even tried to get the preemptive strike early, but when it all came down to it, Bron Breakker was able to defeat Grayson Waller with a spear to retain the NXT Championship. Now, I also noticed that after the victory, Carmelo Hayes and Trick Williams came out. So it's looking like perhaps, and this was even after, cameras cut. Looks like Carmelo Hayes may be getting built up to be Bron Breakker's next challenger, which would be huge. I don't know, y'all. Maybe we could actually see Carmelo Hayes being the one to dethrone Bron Breakker. Now, I know a lot of folks were thinking Carmelo Hayes getting boosted up to the main roster, but they might keep Carmelo on NXT for a while and put the NXT Championship on him, And maybe Bron gets the call. So I feel like they got some options there. So we'll have to see what happens. But overall, a solid show. Let me know what y'all's thoughts were on this show. Like I said, I enjoyed it. For NXT's first premium live event of the year, it was in Charlotte, North Carolina, the Queen City. I enjoyed it. Seats were good. And yeah. So let me know what y'all's thoughts are. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell while you're at it. Also, before I go, be sure you check out the link to Game Beauty for an impressive line of video game themed cosmetic and makeup products. And if you like what you see and want to make a purchase, be sure you use the promo code BlitzballChamp, all in caps, and you can get 10% off of your order. So put that to good use. Anyway, thank y'all so much for watching for another Pro Wrestling Talk brought to you by BlitzballChamp Gaming here on the U to the 2. I'm your host, BlitzballChamp Jason Ingram. I will see y'all in the next video. Y'all take care. Be blessed. Peace.